CBN chief political analyst David Brody is here to talk about Trump's speech. David, Trump didn't rule out a presidential run in 2024, and he's certainly valued as a GOP kingmaker or a potential presidential candidate. What's your take on it?
Yeah, Pat, here's the bottom line on all of this. You're absolutely right. He didn't rule out 2024. As a matter of fact, he seemed like he was encouraging it at the end. And I got to tell you, I think Donald Trump will run in 2024. However, and this is the asterisk, let's see how the Republicans do in 2022. And we'll see how much Donald Trump is kingmaker. In other words, if he brings his support behind many of these primary challenges to an Adam Kinzinger in the House and other people around the country, and he does well, in other words, those candidates do well, well, then not only is he kingmaker, but he's kingmaker on steroids. And I think at that point, he'll have the lift to go into 2024 to say, don't mess with Trump. I will say this, one thing to be careful on here, Pat, is that Donald Trump also hinted at, not even hinted, he actually laid out what election reform needs to look like. So I'm sure he's looking at those battleground states again and saying, look, if they don't get their Voter ID Act together, if we start to see state bureaucrats, many of them Democrats, start to change some of the rules at the last moment on mail-in voting like happened in 2016, then he's not going to set himself up for failure again, because that's what he thinks went wrong in the first place.
You know, I wanted to watch an interview with Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida, and he seems to be, if you took Trump out of the picture, he got the highest number of votes in those straw ballots at CPAC, and they say DeSantis and Kristi Noem would make sort of a dream ticket. What do you think?
Well, I think Ron DeSantis obviously clearly has the ear of the party for sure. He is loved inside not just CPAC this weekend, but that Trump base. They really like him. And let's think about what Ron DeSantis did here, right? I mean, he was going along the same route regarding COVID in terms of lockdowns in March and April. And then all of a sudden, boom, he changed focus in the middle of the summer or so and said, look, we're done. We're not going to lock down the state for the rest of eternity, for the next year, 2 years, whatever. We're done. And we're going to not have a state mask mandate and all the such. So he was able to change course. You got Greg Abbott in Texas, who's actually doubled down and done the exact opposite of Ron DeSantis and has really been hurt quite a bit politically and has fallen out of favor a bit with Republicans. So Ron DeSantis actually changed course during COVID, and that clearly has helped him quite a bit.
You know, it looks like the two most, I guess you call them blue states or whatever, New York and California are having serious problems. The governor of New York has got sexual allegations against him. There's a recall in California. Do you reckon those two huge Democrat states could flip a Republican?
Well, I think there's clearly problems for Newsom and Cuomo, both of them. I think Cuomo may actually have the tougher road, believe it or not. Now, first of all, let's start with Gavin Newsom out in California. I mean, you know about this recall petition, obviously. It's going to have enough signatures to have some sort of recall vote at some point in the future to recall Gavin Newsom and boot him out of office. That's obviously a problem. But if you look at Andrew Cuomo, not only the sexual harassment allegations, which, by the way, now the media can't ignore it. There are now a couple, and who knows how many more potentially. But, you know, it's just amazing that this whole nursing home controversy that Andrew Cuomo's had to deal with, you know, that in and of itself seems to be a bit of a disqualifier. The problem for Cuomo, unlike Gavin Newsom, is Newsom still has the support of Democrats in California compared to Andrew Cuomo. He's losing Democrat support in his own party. That's a problem. That's a storyline to watch out for.
Last question. It looks like it might be a beautiful time for the Republicans to start really picking up some House seats. They might flip the House. What do you think?
Yeah, they're 5 or 6 away. Kevin McCarthy promised at CPAC this weekend that they would win the House back in 2022. And of course, as Donald Trump said at the end of his speech, if Republicans win the House and Republicans win the Senate in 2022, then a Republican president, as he said, would return. That was the word he used. Return to come back and win the White House. You don't return if you haven't been there before. Donald Trump has been there before. Donald Trump is the kingmaker of the Republican Party, no doubt about it.
That's the word of MacArthur. I shall return. David, thank you very much.